Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, race fans. It is that faithful day. It is Wednesday. You know what that means. The International Sim Racing Series is back for its next installment. We're here at Suzuka today for the Japanese 180 for this round 2 of the International Sim Racing Series 2026 summer season. Incredible race last time out at Bathurst. Incredible battle for P1. Incredible battles up and down the field, if I might say. But none of that matters now. We're here in Japan, legendary circuit that is Suzuka. And we're going to watch, hopefully, all 15 of our GT3 cars taking on this incredible track. Now that we have at least one race under our belt, let's take a look at both our driver standings and our team standings. So, after one race, you would expect that, as we see Roach go off a little bit, our current championship leader is our Edmundo Kuno, taking the win in his Mercedes-AMG GT3 last time out in Bathurst. After that, we have C. Andreo. He had a huge lead last time out. We don't know what happened to him. He started to fall back. Then we had, I believe, about a 10-lap battle between himself and Dakuno for the win. Dakuno obviously pulling away with it. And finishing out the podium last week out, it was Deltone. He currently sits at 16 points behind Andreo's 20 and Dakuno's 25. We then have, as listed on SimGrid, yes, Rocket Bunny, who is in P4 in his Porsche. It'll be the second of the Porsche, excuse me. He currently sits at 13 points. Then have Quem_S or Shishanok, as you see in game, in his BWT Porsche, sitting at 11 points. Then his fellow Ukrainian sitting right behind at 10 points. We then have Intensivo, currently fastest in our practice today at 9 points and P7 in the championship. We then have Rasta, another one of the Ukrainians who I'm not sure is racing. Oh, he is here. Where is he? Anyway. Currently sitting at 8 points in his BMW M6. We have Super Abe, which did not participate in last week's outing, as neither did Donchik. Then have Snake Plissken in P11 in the championship. Did not take part in last week's outing at Bathurst, but he will be participating today. Let's see if he can get some good points on the board in his debut for the summer season. We have two more cars that took place. We have Roach. Was leading the race last time out in Australia, however, either some connection issues or something happened, and he unfortunately did not take the checkered flag. We also have Rels Alden, who I am unsure if they are competing today. They hit the wall on the top of the mountain last time out, and they decided that they no longer wanted to continue the race. 3 minutes remaining in the current practice session, then we start our 20-minute qualifying, where fastest lap times will set the starting grid for a 180-ish kilometer race. Speaking of, let's talk about the track our drivers are visiting today. Suzuka International Racing Course in Japan, 5.8 kilometers, 18 corners, the only figure of 8 on the calendar, one of the only real-life figure of 8s in the world, at least in mainstream motorsports. Fast and flowy first sector with the S's. Great for prototypes like F1 cars or hypercars. A little bit sluggish for GT3s, especially if you get it wrong. A couple of other significant corners. You have the hairpin that ends sector 1. You have spoon corner, turn 11. Excuse me, turn 13, 14. The hairpin is 11. You have 130R, supposedly flat-eye right-hander, and typically in prototypes, can be in GT3s depending on the setup and stuff like that. Triangle chicane to end the lap as well. This track is typically a favorite among drivers, no matter the class they are driving. Let's see how our GT3 drivers will handle them today. I also realized we didn't go over the team's standings. Apologies for that, friends. Give me 1 second here. Alright, we have 5 teams listed. We have competition racing. That is headed by Dakuno, who, with his win last time out, has elevated his team to the top of the roster. BWT Racing, the 2 Ukrainians and their BWT Porsche sitting at 21 points combined. We then have Nexus Racing at 16 points. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Warp 3D at 9 points, and then Saber Motorsports at 0. 5 teams competing for the throne. It is 11 o'clock. Qualifying should be starting soon. There we are. As we see Andreo cutting the grass. Here we go. It is a green lights on qualifying any second now. There we go. Cars rolling out of their pit box down the fast lane on pit road. Who's first out? Dokuno again leading the way out from the pit lane. Looks like we're going to have 12 or 13 participating today if Roach can get back into the lobby in time. Not sure if it'll matter though, he might end up starting from the back. All 12 currently joined cars out on track. Let's hope they can give each other a little bit of space so no one gets their lap ruined. Nakuno coming out of Spoon down decently long back straight towards 130R. Coming down towards the final braking zone. Through the chicane, we're going to see both Dokuno and Intensivo start their laps. Going into the first braking zone for the double right-handers of turns 1 and 2. Looked pretty solid. Now we enter through the S's here. You gotta get these perfect. If you get one wrong, you're gonna get them all wrong. Looks good so far. 33.5 through the first sector. Through the first Degner, down into the second Degner, coming up to finish second sector, 54.5, up into the hairpin. Both cars look pretty clean through this lap so far. Intensivo going to have a tad bit of a slipstream, but I think he's too far back for it to do much of anything. Coming up into Spoon Corner, 13-14. Gotta carry enough speed to make the first half of it worthwhile, but not too much so you don't go wide on the exit of the second part. Down back in towards 130R, finishing up the third sector. 39.2 for Dokuno through the third. Ooh, 130R a little bit wide, goes off, it kind of nips the grass at the end of the curbing. Into the triangle chicane, looks good for both cars. Intensivo gonna have a tow all the way to the line. First lap for Dokuno is gonna be a 2:02.0. Intensivo jumps ahead with a 2:01.37 ahead of Dokuno's banker. And then have Rasta with a 2:04.12 seconds behind Dokuno. Del Tone with a 2:08.1. Here we go. First round of laps popping in. Adam Bernardi at a 2:01.2. Only 2 thousandths off of Shishnak at a 2:01.271. We have LCSR Fahrerschwammer, oh my lord, Fahrerschwamser at a 2:09.80, and then his teammate another 700ths ahead of him. Gyra's showing out some real skill around Suzuka. Some incredible laps going down. You have Andrew, the second of the BWTs, coming through as the final car to set a first lap time. And I don't believe it. Oh no, that was his outlap. You see a car returning to the pit lane. Not exactly sure why. It's just going to reset your fuel. Yeah, you get new tires, but you're still going to be heavy from all that fuel added. Let's hop on board with our championship leader as he starts a new lap. Oh! Both himself and Intensivo improved up to a 2:01.4 and 2:01.2 respectively. almost identical through the first sector for Tokuno. Andreo snaps P2, puts himself in an LCSR sandwich with a 2-minute .391, with Tokuno improving in the second sector. A small snap of oversteer coming out of the hairpin. Check it with my fellow countryman, Snake Plissken, only sitting in P10 with a 201.964, 1.7 seconds off the current benchmark. You see, Snake Plissken just giving an incredible tow to that Lexus of Andreo behind. And this is my first time seeing Snake's clearly martini liveried Porsche, and I have to say that thing looks beautiful. Ooh, Andreo getting really close to placing it under the braking zone. As you see, Snake and Andreo dive into the pit lane. Both going to take on a fresh set of softs. Halfway through qualifying here at Suzuka for the International Sim Racing Series. LCSRG leads currently with provisional pole with a 2-minute .253, almost a tenth and a half in front of Andreo. And our provisional pole setter's teammate at a 2-minute .9, 7/10 behind. So teammate that we have Shishinog in P4, Adam Bernetti in P5, Intensivo Del Tone in P7 with a 201.4. Dokuno, our admin, 201.4 as well. Andrew 201.819 in the second of the two BWT Porsches. The token American Snake Plissken 201.964. As Rafley in a 202.03. And then Rastapai 203.826 in P12. That is your current grid as it stands for the start of the Suzuka 180. I should hopefully be getting through all of the cars on camera at least once today. So let me know in the comments or in the chat which livery or which car is your favorite. For me personally, I think Snake Plissken's Martini liveried Porsche is currently taking the cake for me right now. Yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Also, give me your thoughts on who is going to win and who is going to be your driver of the day. I also need to check my suspicions. It is Sabrina Carpenter. Never mind, I think that one takes it. Just kidding. Anyway. CG with all purple sectors so far. Now here's the point where we're probably going to see a lot of the cars diving into the pit lane to take on fresh rubber. CG cutting the beam once again. Lost about a half-tenth through the final sector. See Andreo, fastest Sector 3, improving on his Sector 3 time by just over a second. Is he gonna snatch the provisional pole away from LCSR? Comes out of the final flat right-hander, stays wide. That's why he lost about 7/10 into the chicane. No one improving as of late. They come down to just over 5 minutes left in this qualifying session. We have a little bit of a Ukrainian battle going on here. As you see, Raston is BMW. Almost blocking Shishnak. It's not really, they're both on hot laps, I would assume. But gonna be a little inconvenient for the P4 man. Oh, I missed it, but we see Deltone for the Nexus squad going fastest by just over a tenth. So you see some dark clouds starting to roll in. No weather forecasted, I believe. That means once again for our new viewers or even our returning viewers who are still a little bit not fully understanding of our rules. International Sim Racing Series starts with the server opening at 7:45 p.m. Central European Time. Drivers who join early enough have a max of 15 minutes practice before we start qualifying at 8 p.m. on the dot. 20 minutes. Fastest lap time sets the grid for the 180-kilometer race. It starts typically about 11:28, depending if there's any delays or not. One mandatory pit stop is... That doesn't make any sense in English. One pit stop at least is mandatory. You must run both the softs and the mediums throughout the span of the race. Races, however, are typically a two-stop. So you'll typically see most drivers starting out on the mediums double sinting these softs if they save enough. A lot of the front runners typically do that. A lot of the mid-pack towards the bag markers, they typically start on these softs, try and get some track position from the jump. If there is any incident involving two drivers colliding, the victim driver has the option to record evidence, submit a inquiry to the stewarding staff. Stewards can then apply post-race penalties, changing up the finishing order, and in most cases the championship standings. So our drivers need to make sure they keep it clean, which typically isn't a problem around Suzuka. Pretty wide track. Couple of heavy braking zones, but nothing I don't think any of our drivers can't handle. And just like for the tires in Formula 1, or in any really racing that requires two mandatory compounds, if any inclement weather does decide to show itself, the two compound mandate is then lifted and drivers can stay on wets, whether tires. Coming into the closing stages, as we see Andrea parked up in the grass. There we go. Only a few cars remaining on track. Everyone else happy with their qualifying times. As the checkered flag is falling. I believe, yes. Now we see the checkered flag fall over this qualifying session. Molmax, aren't you supposed to be driving? Why aren't you in the session? Anyway, we're going to have Del Tone taking pole position for the Suzuka 180 with a 2:01.37. Our previous race winner, Dokuno, down in P8. Doesn't look like Suzuka is their favorite track. Now it's on you, and despite the penalty, is going to cross the line to finish qualifying here today. And that is our 20-minute qualifying done and dusted. And so we have some last minute people showing up. Interesting. Again, no weather from the last in-game hour. Let's look at our event settings just to see, just to show you guys everything. 31 laps of Suzuka. Pretty simple. Standard race settings. Looks like some somewhat heavy winds today coming in down behind the cars into turn 1. We'll see how that takes effect at race start. That is the end of qualifying. Let's take a look at our starting order for the International Sim Racing Series Summer Season Round 2 Suzuka 180. We have Deltone on pole position in his Porsche in a 2-minute .137, followed closely behind by the first of the LCSR cars, and a 2-minute .253 also in a Porsche front row lockout. We have Andrea, P2 man from last time out in his RCF from Lexus 2-minute .391. Tensevo in the Ferrari 2-minute .624 P4. P5 Adam Bernardi, in the first of our Mercedes in 2-minute .65. Second of the LCSRs in the 911 is a 2-minute .709. P7 Shishnak in the first of the BWT Alpines, 2-minute .838. Our Edmundo Cuno, it's first of the 2-minute ones in his Mercedes. And we are resetting the grid. Anyway, as this is going on, race will start in about 4 minutes time. Get yourself a drink, get yourself a snack, get comfortable. The race will still be here when you get back. Welcome back, folks. We are less than a minute away from the green flag for round 2 of the summer season of the International Sim Racing Series here at Suzuka. 31 laps of Suzuka coming your way. 14 cars, excuse me, gonna take the green flag. We have Dale Tone for Nexus on pole, our current championship leader and previous race winner in P8. Close field today for qualifying. We'll see if anyone from the back can make their way to the top step of the rostrum this time. It's 11:28. Here we are. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Here we go. Cars line up on the grid. Dotone's Porsche fired up, ready to roll away. Here we are, cars roll out in the final corner towards the line. We go racing for the second time this season. 3, 2, 1, go, go, go! Green flag here for the Suzuka 180. All cars down in single file into the first 2 corners. We have a car a little bit wide, a little bit of bumping going on. As a result, almost too wide through turn 2. You see Andrew and Rafi. Rafi has to back out. Andrew's going to keep his position off the start. Believe it is as you were across the line. Delton already leading with about a half-second gap through the S's. Rasta a tad bit wide. Now Tom coming through the Degners to finish out Sector 1. Again, as you were single file at the end of the first sector. See Andrea a little wide, slightly missing the apex on a small snap of oversteer on the exit of the hairpin. The top 3 starting to break away from the rest of the field already as we come into Spoon Corner. Small mistake from Adam, that's going to allow the LCSR car to get a little bit close, but I believe they also had a small mistake. Coming through 130R for the first time. Huge 4-way battle for P11, the American leading the way. As we come out of the triangle chicane for the first time, Deltone still leading the race to cut the beam to start the second lap. Whoa! Deltone's off into the gravel! He's going to fall all the way to the back of the pack. I am really confused as to what just happened. I don't think he had any help. Maybe just an overcorrection from oversteer? Absolutely heartbreaking for Deltone, pole position. And then a huge mistake like that throws him off in the gravel and basically last place. It's going to allow G to inherit the lead with Andrea right hot on his tail. go driver's eye with Andreo as we going to head down towards 130R. Andreo going to have a small look up the inside. He's going to have the run. He's going to smartly back out. You do not want to go side by side through 130R in any car, especially GT3s. Let's have a little bit of a look further back. The second of the LCSR cars with Dokuno. Looks to be up another position even after Deltone's big mistake. About a second between 4th and 5th at the moment. Got a couple of small packs forming across the field. As we see the Red Bull Mercedes with a half-second time penalty. Either got that at the end of the previous lap or the beginning of this. We see Snake Plissken at the back of the field. He was leading this pack about a lap and a half ago. Wonder what happened to him as we see Deltone back up to P11 already. Making some quick progress to correct his mistake from a lap earlier. Side by side through 130. Oh, that's really dangerous. And he is forced wide. Andreo taking the lead a little bit not clean, if you ask me, but we're gonna have to check that replay after the race if G wants to submit an inquiry. See the podium positions still pulling away ever slightly more from the rest of the field. In terms of rounding out the top three, with Adam Bernardi a couple of tenths behind, about a second and a half. A huge gaggle of cars at the hairpin. Insane battle for P10, from P10 all the way to P14. Snake Plissken a little ways behind from the rest of this battle, but still can be within it nonetheless. You see Nabucco a little bit wide, and we have a car on the wall. It's Alden Pratama in the BMW. Too much throttle out of spoon corner. Loses the rear, ends up in the wall. He's gonna fall 8 seconds just about behind Snake Plissken. As we have a retiree, I believe one of the back markers has decided to remove himself from the race, or connection issues, unfortunate. But again, that's the risk you run with sim racing. It's going to promote a couple of the back markers up another position. You see Andrew just kind of driving by himself right now. Not really with the pack behind, and definitely not with the pack in front. As you see, this pack is closing up just a bit. Actually, a lot of bit. We have a 5-way battle for the lead, but just about. Tokuno and Shishinog only about a second behind, 2 seconds, excuse me, in the back of this battle. As we see one of the LCSR cars trying to have a look at Adam Bernardi. Nothing doing yet into Spoon Corner. As we see the leaders going side by side towards 130R again. Is it going to be a repeat, just opposite of what happened last lap? G up the inside, Andreo going around. They just about clear it. It's almost the same move, I'd say. That's also going to allow Intensivo to slip by up into P2. We are just about at a 7-way fight for the lead here, folks, as we start lap 6 of the Suzuka 180 for the International Sim Racing Series summer season. I said we're going to probably see huge battles today, or maybe even some people from the back fighting for the win. And so far, this race has not disappointed. We're only 6 laps into this thing. Into the hairpin with Intensivo. Looks very clean, gets a good run. Are you gonna have any more side-by-side running in a 130? I don't think so. All the cars seem decently separated enough. You see Yi go with the fastest lap of the race so far to a 1.718 as he begins to run away from the rest of the field. Using all of the tires that he can. Looks like he's going to be on the mediums if he's chosen to reveal them with the design on the tires. As we see Intensivo and Andrea having a little bit of a scuffle, Andrea just sitting patiently behind this number 60 Ferrari. Let's come into the Degners. Intensivo a tad wide. Andrea's going to look to the outside coming into the hairpin. And he's passed, even before the braking zone. Great run from Andrea. He's going to take his P2 spot back. Dokuno has been defending his position well while also trying to attack the sister car manufacturer. As we see, it's just Farah's rims it goes a little bit wide out of Spoon in the gravel. It's gonna make him fall even further away from the top 6. Race is starting to calm down a little bit, even already on lap 8. Of course, the cars are still really close to each other within the top 6, but none really close enough to light off any fireworks as of right now. See a little bit of a three-way scuffle for P4 starting to brew. All in a line, but they have to get a little bit closer to Intensivo if they want to be fighting for that podium. So you see Adam go a tad wide. It's going to allow Dokuno to get just that little bit closer. Going to have a better slipstream. Not too much doing though for Dokuno. He's gonna have to sit back and wait for another opportunity to present itself. Here we go. It is a four-way battle for the final step on the podium. As Adam goes a bit wide in between turns 1 and 2. I don't believe he's going to get a penalty and allows him to carry that little bit of extra speed. Top on board with the last car in this train. With Shishtanok as he chases down Dokuno for P5. Adam wide into the grass has allowed Dokuno to slip by as we head towards Spoon Corner. And now Shishanok's going to have a run. Not quite, though. Adam closes off after his mistake into Spoon Corner. Dokuno up to P4. Adam making just too many mistakes so far. Adam again went a little bit wide out of 130R, immediately cuts back to defend his position from Shishtanok into the triangle chicane. That's actually allowed Dokuno and Intensivo to break a second gap between the two of them. Entire track. As we see, the first Wimser has been caught by Andrew. They're going to start fighting in about a lap or so. If Andrew can keep up the pace. We also see we have a three-way battle for P10. In the back, as we see Dotone trying to claw his way back to the top as Rasta is, for whatever reason, flashing his brights like every corner. Rasta unsettling the car just a little bit. He's going to go run right out of the second diner with a small snap of oversteer. It's going to allow Deltone to get back up into the top 10. Rasta with a huge dive bomb into the hairpin. I don't think Deltone's going to be very happy about that. We are elbows out here on lap 10 for P10. Rasta gonna have another look up the inside, not quite into Spoon Corner. As we see Deltone off and spinning again. This time keeping the car facing the right direction, but he's gonna fall away from this battle. Alden was really wide out of 130R. And you're starting to fall back a little bit from Ferris Wimser to cut back to our battle for third position. As we see, Dokuno has taken it. Did he already have it? I don't know. Anyway, Dokuno takes the final podium position for now and begins to pull a little bit of a gap on Intensivo and Adam. Adam trying to have a look around Intensivo into the hairpin. Intensivo is going to defend his position though for it now as we head down towards Spoon Corner. We're going to be side by side, just about, not quite. Intensivo not able to get that overlap that he needs. As we see Alden and Rasta still going at it. Alden actually managed to get by. We see our first car diving in the pit lane. Intensivo into the box. First gonna bolt on fresh out of rubber and take some fuel. I'm assuming he's gonna bolt on the mediums. There you go on the tires. Gonna take a full tank of fuel as we see Deltone diving in as well from the mediums. Intensivo puts on the mediums. We'll see what Deltone does. So we come into the pit box with the Porsche. Air jacks on. New wheels. Fuel going in. We're gonna bolt on the softs. He has a 3-second time penalty for cutting the pit line on the entrance. Oh my lord. Today is not Deltone's day. Massively unfortunate for the Nexus Porsche. As we see, Nibble has left the room. I'm going to assume another unfortunate disconnect DNF. That's going to bring us down to 12 participating cars. See if any of this pack does anything. Dokuno does. And that's it. Dokuno gonna dive into the pit lane from the last spot on the podium. It's gonna promote Adam temporarily. Let's see if Dokuno gets the undercut though. Kuno's already out back on track. You come back to Andrea, still chasing down G. G a little wide through Spoon. Andrea trying to have a look at the inside, nothing doing though. G gonna take a little bit of a defensive line as we come down towards turn one. Gonna cut back to the ideal racing line. Andrea starting to fall just a tad. You cut back to Adam, still trying to fend off from the LCSR. Again, the race starting to settle down just a bit. Still a couple of one-on-ones going on. As we see, Deltone has caught up to Snake Plissken. These two are really good friends off track. We'll see if that amounts to anything. on track as you see Andrea diving into the pit lane. You also see Alden in the pit lane as well. Let's see if Snake will dive into the pit lane. Not yet. An American putting in a personal best to try and just keep his track position from Deltone. As we're just about half distance through this race, folks. Running for his life from the two cars behind him. Deltone's gonna have the run and the slipstream as we see Rasta diving into the pit lane. Is he gonna go for another one there? Not quite. Smartly sits back. Doesn't want anything to happen between the two of them. That doesn't need to. You see two of the Ukrainians are in the pit lane. Andrew just exits. I believe this is going to be it from Deltone. Dives to the inside. It's just a tiny bit of overlap. Deltone, oh! Elbows out from Deltone. It's going to force Snake off really wide. It's going to allow both Deltone and Alden to get through. No friendships here on track. My goodness. Not a rough race in Hero around Suzuka today. We have our leader diving in to the pit lane. Nakuna with an incredible undercut up to P2 behind Shishchanok. Andrea right on Nakuna's tail though. Andrea managed to get a small overlap of Dokuno. A little bit more traction out of the hairpin. I'm gonna be side by side down towards 130R. Andrea has been known to not back off into here. Let's see if he gives the same treatment to Dokuno. He does not. He's gonna back off. Wait for a different opportunity. I don't think he wants to be doing anything too rash when he's fighting the admin. Andrea did manage to get by Dokuno into the first corners of the lap. Let's hop on with our leader. Check, see how he's doing. I don't believe he's pitted yet. So even with the 7-second gap, almost 8-second gap, Andrea is our current net leader. As you see, the battle for the net lead has grown to 3 now. Andre with a little bit of a gap behind, so not as much pressure on him. But Dokuno has to deal with the ever-closing gi. You see another battle again between Fahrerwurmser and Adam. Two German manufacturers going at it. I didn't even notice these guys are a teammate. I don't think they're official teammates, but... You see Dokuno diving into the pit lane once again. And put on another set of softs and fuel to finish the race. Shishchanok has been caught up by Andreo. Looks like G is going to have a half-second penalty here. And I still don't believe Shishchanok is pitted. He is not. Andreo's going to have the run on him into the Degners. Here we go, Andreo has the overlap around the outside towards the hairpin. Is he gonna stick it? Woo! Ooh, he's gonna have to go a little wide. Three-way battle here. Shishchanok's gonna have to run at least keep P2 for now. G is gonna have that run. Let's see if I mean, it's not really gonna matter. G has that penalty. ZG diving down the inside into Spoon. Shishchanok's gonna know G has that penalty, so he's not gonna be worried too much about it. As we cross the penalty line here. I think G had a decent enough run to keep his position. He did. As you see, Shishchanok finally dive into the pit lane to get off these mediums. He's going to run softs to the end with as much fuel as he needs. There go on the softs. And just under a half tank of fuel. Kind of comes out in the middle of nowhere. Oh. As we see Snake Whistling dive into the pit lane finally as well, or once again. Busy pit lane! now for the back markers. We're following along Adam as he's trying to claw his way up to that final podium spot. And Tenzo has been driving a really good race today. As you see, Andrea and G is still going at it for the lead of this race. As we see what I'm going to assume is our final pit stop of the day. Going down towards 130R. Is G gonna be close enough, or it's just going a little stiff trim to get us that tad bit closer? Both cars are gonna dive in the pit lane. One of the cars made contact with the pit wall. I think they're both going to get penalties for that. Whoa! Do they both? Only G gets a penalty for crossing the pit line. Oh, wow. He might be extra aggressive on this outlap then. Coming down into Spoon, Andrea's also going to know that G has that penalty coming down towards the penalty line. It's going to breathe a big sigh of relief that he can kind of just settle down and bring this car home. huge penalty for G. It's gonna allow Intensivo and Adam to have runs as well. Intensivo slots in just before 130R. Let's see Adam diving in the pit lane again. Intensivo with a slow run out of turn 2. G's gonna have that opportunity, that crossover. It's gonna slide just in front of Intensivo to retake that podium position after the penalty. Shinnok's gonna have the run on Intensivo now towards 130R. We're gonna go side by side just about. With the overlap, they're exchanging a little bit of paint. Shinnok's gonna force his way by, demoting Intensivo off the podium. As we cut the beam with Intensivo to start the final 6 laps of this race. You see Andrew diving in the pit lane, final pit stop of the race. See Dokuno slowly catching Intensivo up. Again, these two probably the most experienced drivers in the series, or at least in the way that they've been driving this series the longest out of anyone else in the field. Battle for the lead is still going on. G's gonna have that run towards 130R. Gonna have that overlap. We know both of these like to be really aggressive when they go side by side through 130R. You're gonna have to be. But G's gonna make it work. He goes a little bit not wide, and Andreo's gonna dive back down into the inside into the triangle chicane. But G is gonna stick it around the outside, still keeping that lead out of Andreo's hands. G's going to take a defensive line down towards turn 1 across the line. Cut back to the racing line. Andrea! What a save! He's gonna get a penalty for that, though. Better than spinning out, to be completely fair. Dipped his wheel into the grass, and Degner, huge slide, managed to keep it pointing the right direction on the black stuff. I'm not gonna say this battle is done and dusted, but for now, ESG has a little bit of breathing room. Nakuno within a second, within half a second of Intensivo. Intensivo with a little bit of a squiggle. Nakuno is a respectable racer. He's going to sit behind Intensivo, not trying to take any risks as we come to the final 5 laps of this race. 4 laps even. We just know the 50 car is going to be hanging on for, excuse me, the 60 car is going to be hanging on for dear life in these closing stages. We cut to Snake and Rasta duking it out. Rasta ran a little wide out of Spoon. Andrea with another penalty. Dokuna managed to get by Intensivo. Tukino broken away. Deltone had way too many mistakes, spun out lap 2 from the lead onto the gravel, and believe had another spin a couple of laps later, and just been stuck by himself for the entirety of this race. Absolutely unfortunate what happened to our pole sitter. As we come through the final corners on lap 29 to start with 2 laps to go, this battle for the lead is still very much on here. Yeah, a little wide through the first 2 corners to allow Andrea to break open that gap just a tad bit more. Andrea with a fast lap, faster than even the pole time for this race today. Andrea with a little bit of mistake to allow G to get that overlap. We're going to be going side by side towards Spoon Corner. Andrea has the inside for now, but it's going to switch to the outside. Andrea's going to take a little bit of a defensive move. G is still going to have that overlap on the inside. Textbook overtake from G. Let's see if he can hold on to it as we come to 130R for the penultimate time. Andrea's going to have that run. He's going to be able to get the overlap. We know these two love to be aggressive through 130R. It's going to be elbows out. Relatively clean through 130R. Andrea's going to have a little bit of a look up the inside, but nothing going as we start the final lap of this Suzuka 180. Half a second is your gap across the line. G sticking to the inside, doing everything he can to keep Andrea behind him. G with a little bit of a mistake trying to be defensive coming out of the first 2 corners. They go through the S's for what will be the final time today. The gap fluctuating a lot, anywhere between 4 to 7 tenths. Andrea with a pretty slow Sector 1 in comparison to his personal best. Come down towards the Degners. Both pretty clean through. Andrea with a huge snap. That's gonna settle it for now unless G makes another mistake as we see Del Tone might come into play here as a little bit of traffic. He is getting the blue flags. He's going to have to get out of the way of the leaders. It's unfortunate. Del Tone is going to be our first lapped car of the year if our leaders get close enough. 7 tenths is your gap into Spoon. It looks like it's going to be all done and dusted for G unless he does something stupid. 5 tenths is your gap. Del Tone gets out of the way. Four tenths as we come down towards 130R. Nice and clean. Is Andrea going to go for a dive? Last attempt into the braking zone. No, he's going to sit behind. It's been an incredible battle all the way home. But G is going to be our second winner of the year. Andrea right behind. We're going to have Del Tone across the line as a last place finisher. We also have Shishanok finishing out the podium in the BWT. Our admin coming all the way up from P8 to P4 just off the podium, but still good points. It's going to retain his championship lead. Intensvo not that far behind. Second of the LCSR cars. Adam Bernardi right behind, not that far behind, with Andrew finishing just after less than a second. Alden coming out of Spoon being chased by Rasta. Next speed, it's going to be done and dusted for for the rest of the cars. Thanks, Fabio. I try. Oh, Rasta, huge late braking. Trying to get anything working. It's not going to work, though. Alden's going to cross the line, keeping P9, P10 with Rasta, and our American final car across the line. What an incredible race here today at Suzuka for the International Sim Racing Series. Your top 3 finishers: LCSRG in its Porsche 911, followed closely by Andrea 3 tenths behind with just another 7 seconds after that. Our Armando Kuno in his Mercedes in P4, Intensivo P5, second of the 2 LCSRs, Fares Wismer in P6, Adam Bernardi in the Mercedes AMG in P7, Andrew P8, second of the 2 PWT Porsches. Ellen, first of the two BMWs, followed by Rasta, the second of the 2. The final car on the lead lap, P11, the American Snake Plissken in his debut of the season. Delta, an unfortunate story, our pole sitter spitting out into the gravel lap 2 with a couple of more incidents later in the race. He's our only finisher a lap down. P13, 14 for 2 DNFs of 2 Mercedes. Believed to be connection issues, but we don't know exactly what happened. We'll get the updated standings next time out in Abu Dhabi. Yes, I know, normally the season finisher, however, it is now the 3rd round of the year. My thanks to all of the admin team, all the drivers today, Gran Turismo themselves, and thanks to you guys tuning in, whether it's live or watching the VOD after the race. I look forward to seeing you all in Abu Dhabi. My name is Jack Plays. I'll be your commentator, and I will see you all next time out.